back with another episode of my TARDIS tutorial. In this episode, we're going to be doing a regeneration traits feature. If I regenerate by killing myself now, it'll tell me that I have a new trait, which is Efficient Miner. And once I'm done regenerating, you will see what that means. So now that I'm done regenerating, you'll see nothing appears to have changed other than my face. But you can see there is actually something new if we go into our inventory. You can see I have Haste 3 for an infinite period of time. And you can see that in action. If we try to break these, you can see my hand's moving very fast and these blocks are breaking quite fast. And basically what this means is that this is now my new trait. I am an efficient miner, meaning I'm very fast at mining now. And basically I have this for the entirety of this regeneration of my Time Lord body. And so until I regenerate again, I'm going to have this effect. However, if we regenerate again, we'll gain a new trait. So let's do that. My new trait is Fantastic Negotiator, and what that means is I have Hero of the Village 3 infinitely, and it just means that villager trades will be better. It'll work on this guy as well, and you can see the prices of things are going down. And now we have the Greedy trait, which gives us Hunger 3. So how does this all work? Well, we come in here, and you can see we have these sections of 3 little things here. We have a command block here, comparator here, another command block here, and each of these little sections compares to one trait. So we have many traits, and we could add more if we really wanted to. So yeah, let's begin over here. Over here we have this, which is execute at E name equals regen respawn, that being the armor stand that's summoned when we are regenerating. If entity at A, tag equals Time Lord, distance equals less than 2 blocks, scores deaths 1. So this just means that executing at the position of regen respawn, if there's a Time Lord within a distance of less than 2 blocks who has a death score of 1. If you've seen the regeneration video, you'll know that these criteria are really only met when a Time Lord is just regenerated and is now has the death score of 1 because they've just died, and they're within a close distance of the regen respawn. And if all that is true, meaning a player is regenerating, then this comparator will go off, and this command block here, which is on impulse and needs redstone, will do execute at that same regen respawn armor stand, run scoreboard players add at A, tag equals Time Lord, distance equals ... 2, scores deaths 1. So that same Time Lord, it is going to add a score in the traits scoreboard of 1 to them. So the traits scoreboard is very simple. You just do scoreboard, objectives, add, traits, and then dummy. And then you just press enter. That would add the traits scoreboard for that particular player that is now regenerating. The trait will get moved up by 1 score. And basically what that does is that factors into each of these. So we'll start from the beginning. We're not going to go over all of these because they're mostly the same, but you can see that effect give at A scores traits equals 1. Minecraft, blindness, very high number. This is just the seconds, meaning it is effectively infinite. The amplifier, you can again set this to whatever you want to affect the intensity of the effect, and then true just hides the particles. Once the player has a score of traits of 1, so if you start at 0 and then you regenerate, that other command block over there will move your score up to 1. You will be targeted by this command block, and you will be given the blindness effect infinitely. And then we have the comparator, and what does this do? It'll just say new trait for at A scores equals traits equals 1, blind. So that is very simple. Obviously, it's just a say command telling you what trait you have, and it's targeting at the player with the score of traits is 1. And obviously, this is exactly the same for all of these others. So for example, here we have effect give at A scores traits equals 2, Dolphin's Grace, and it's just the exact same numbers here. And then we just have new trait Great Swimmer, because that just makes you a faster swimmer. And it's basically the same stuff for the rest of these. You can have 2 effects for 1 trait. So this one is traits score of 6. It'll give you jump boost. But it'll also give you, if you have traits equals 6, speed. And what this is called is acrobatic. So you're both faster and can jump higher. You can obviously compound as many effects as you want into one trait. When we come over here, these two are for resetting the score. So obviously the last one would be a score of 15. So once the player gets up to a score of 16, it'll actually reset it to number 1, which obviously will set you back to the beginning once you get past your 15th trait. And this is just execute as at A, limit equals 1, add at S, if score at S traits matches 16, run scoreboard player set at S traits 1. So basically, to go over that again, it's executing at a player, making sure the limit is 1, so just one player, but only at the player if their score of traits is 16. So it'll change the score of one player who scores 16, and it'll do scoreboard player set at S traits 1. So setting their traits score back to 1. And this up here controls once the Time Lord is not a Time Lord anymore, so if they die enough times to where the regenerations run out, or they use the fob watch, then this targets at a player who does not have the tag of Time Lord. Scoreboard player set at a tag equals not Time Lord via this exclamation point traits, and it'll set it back to 0. So yeah, just to demonstrate one last time, let's just kill ourselves and regenerate one more time and show you another trait coming on. And yep, we've started back at 0, so we have the blindness trait. So just to show you that, you can see obviously we have blindness, and it's pretty big blindness. I can't really change what it looks like. Oh, and we have nausea. So this is a good opportunity to show off one last thing, actually, that if we did something like effect clear, because the command giving us our trait effect was on a repeating command block, it actually won't clear that, so we are forced to keep our trait to the end of this regeneration. So yeah, let's just do that once again so that we're not blind for the end of the video. But yeah, that's really all there is to it. This has been my regeneration traits feature for regeneration. If you haven't checked out the previous couple videos on regeneration, be sure to do that, as obviously you can't really do this without those. I've been Tbo2. Be sure to subscribe, to follow my Instagram, Tbo2at, to follow my Twitter, which is also Tbo2at, to join my Discord, and lastly, to have a nice day. Goodbye.